Parliament houses almost 4,000 rare artworks and items that we're told are of priceless value, especially to our heritage. Of course, there are fears that much of this could have been lost in the devastating fire. We're now told, though, thankfully, a lot of it has been saved. So let's take a look, if we can, with someone who knows all about this. It's always such a pleasure to have cultural expert and historian Professor Pitika Ntuli with us. Prof, morning to you. All the very best for 2022. I mean, I've only been into Parliament once before. I never had a chance to walk around properly. But when we say priceless to our heritage, I mean, we're not exaggerating. We mean priceless pieces of art and history in the country, don't we?
I mean, we do. I mean, how do you prize the Keiskamma Tapestry? That is 120 meters, built by Xhosa women in Hamburg under the direction of Carol Hofmeyer, who is an artist that is depicting the story of the Eastern Cape, almost pre-colonial, right up to the release of Mandela. 100 women using their oral history, using the images they see around themselves to embroider this tapestry, to live for future generations. That's the work that is in there that has been threatened.
Are you able to tell me, Prof, what else is inside the parliamentary precinct? As I said, I haven't had a chance and the pleasure of walking around. Anything else that stands out for you that South Africans might not know is there, that you, when you were watching those flames go up, you, Professor, sat there going, oh, I hope that's not been destroyed?
Oh, no. There are paintings, there are documents that have been there for centuries. Depicted about the colonial things. For any researcher, that is the best place to be. The paintings that cannot be repeated. 4,000 works, and each one of them is priceless. It depicts our history. It tells us who we should be. That what should be helping us to build our own nation, because whatever is that belongs to us. May have come from colonial, from apartheid, and from anywhere else. It's a South African issue. It's now part and parcel of our own hymn book.
Tell me about the emotion that you were feeling, Professor, as you were watching those flames go up. Was it sadness? Was it fear? Was it anger? I'll tell you why I suggest possibly anger. I don't mean to speak on your behalf, but knowing what is in that building and then knowing how poorly it was handled before. The sprinklers weren't working. The alarm took too long to go off and security wasn't there. It almost smacks in the face of our history, knowing how little protection there actually was, wasn't it?
But there's one redeeming feature, is that after the fire that took place on the Table Mountain and also in Cape Town, Parliament at least did put a firewall on the library in order to protect these artworks. Maybe too little, too late, but that was actually being done. But seeing that going over and knowing that not long ago the Archbishop was being buried around there, what he would have actually thought. That's what came actually into my mind. And also on a personal level, I work with a group of people here. We've got about 19 monuments that tell our history, but they are not outside in there. You're not going to see them anywhere outside in here because of our history. But that's 4,000 pieces are saved. I am absolutely very, very, very happy and pleased. God and the ancestors be blessed, and thanks to the firefighters for risking their lives and saving us.
I think a lot of people agree with all the congratulations and thanks to the firefighters. Professor, just last 30 seconds I have with you. Do you, if Parliament, if the President himself was to phone you after the show, after you and I speak now, because obviously he's watching you and I speak, and he says, Professor Ntuli, do you think we should keep these artefacts at Parliament? What would you tell him?
I would say that let us follow the example of Senegal in building a museum of ancient history, where everything that is not just only in Parliament, but people can go in there, and see. Let's follow the example of Senegal. Let's also follow the example of Ghana, who's thinking of following, Senegal. We need to have, these. We are also talking about the monuments, the colonial monuments and apartheid monuments. They would also become part and parcel of the wider thing that will also draw tourists to the country. Universities and schools will use those as a resource. I would say to President, so far we have done very well from negative economics to where we are. But please talk to the president of Senegal and let us build a museum of our ancient history.
Well, I appreciate your time and your insights and your expertise. Always a pleasure. Cultural expert and historian, Professor Pitika Ntuli. Enjoy the Underberg, Professor. I'm sure we'll speak again soon.